Welcome to Sehtar. My name is Venkdesh. I'm an author and a therapist. In today's episode, we are going to look into answering one of the most important interview questions, which is usually the first question that is asked. And that is, tell me something about yourself. Or, why don't we begin by your introduction? Why don't you introduce yourself and let's start from there? So these kind of questions, the first question that's about yourself is usually meant for getting the conversation started. It's not that they're going to make any important decisions based on your answer at this stage, but rather it's a conversation starter. It's to make you feel much more comfortable in having a conversation with them. And it's just about getting into the flow. So one of the most important things that you would want to remember is have a positive start with a good amount of energy which you can feel and you can express in that particular answer. The content part of it is as important as how you actually express yourself. How do you come across? What is your opinion and confidence about yourself can reflect and is easily understood by the interviewer in how you answer this question. So what you would want to do is to really first prepare yourself instead of just taking it for granted, and have at least 2 or 3 answers ready for which you would really have the confidence to talk in a very nice and a pleasant and a professional way. So how can you answer this question? A lot of people, particularly college students in their pre-final and final years, they really get stuck at this point itself. They cannot very fluently talk for more than 30 seconds or 1 minute. And the reason is they didn't really prepare. It's such a sad thing, but you have been doing something for nearly 15 to 16 years. You've been in school, you've been in college, and you have studied a lot, you have learned a lot, you may have traveled a lot, and you have done a number of things during the past 15 years, but even for 15 seconds, talking about yourself, not about a different topic, not about a subject, but just yourself, and people find it really hard. And the number one reason for that is fear, and secondly, lack of preparation. So what do we do about that? How do we handle this? Like I said earlier, the first thing that you can do is to practice, is to prepare yourself and practice. You can do a mock interview with your friends, with your colleagues, with your staff, with wherever you are. And you can also practice in your own home. Stand in front of a mirror, record a video of yourself, and just talk. Just talk about yourself, whatever comes to your mind, spontaneously, and just keep talking and figure out what are all the places where you're getting stuck. A good way to answer this question is to do your research. For whatever job you're applying for, find out what is the criteria, what is the person specification, what are the skills they are looking for, and see if you have them in you. What are your strengths, how you match up to their expectations, and pick 1 or 2 of them and use them in your introduction. So when you talk about yourself, for example, let's say you are a graduate of artificial intelligence or a computer science course, what you can do is in your introduction use at least 2 points in which you did some programming, in which you did some exercises or activity where you can showcase your strengths. That's a big plus. Or if you are a mechanical engineering or automobile engineering or a production engineering or into those areas, then you may want to talk about a factory visit, you may want to talk about your project work, you may want to talk about your internship and what you did in the workshop, what you did in the shop floor, how and why tools and tooling systems are important, and something in those areas, as you can mix up those strengths and the factors about your skills and your strengths and your talent, and why do you really feel better about yourself in those particular areas of specialization. What you can also do is to see if there is a strong link between the place that you were born, or the place that you live, or the place that you have studied with the career you want to pursue. That may be really a good start for many of you. For example, your city or town could be a hub for software, could be a hub for factories and manufacturing, could be a hub for chemicals and chemical related stuff, could be a hub for fertilizers, could be a hub for agriculture, could be a main place for port or harbor or shipping related logistics stuff. So see what is the specialization, and if there is a link, a strong link that you can establish between the career you want to pursue, the place where you are born or you are living right now, or where you have studied, and the experiences you have in those areas, then you can start from there and then connect the dots in terms of how that actually is a relevant point for your skills, for your strengths, and the job that you're applying for. One of the other factors that you want to consider is a communication from yourself about you is not only always positive and a good place to start, but it's also a place to express your long-term thinking, your strategic mindset, your passion, your vision. How do you really want to live your life? That is a very important point. Not that it is a deciding criteria right now, but it helps the panel or the interviewer to understand who you are as a person and how you will work in the team. Because in very early stages, if you're applying for a job, it's very likely that you're going to be part of a team. So they will want to understand how good a team player you are. How do you come across with other people, and how do you even communicate with them, and what are your natural abilities in terms of the way you get across with other people, your relationships, and your professional criteria for really being a good team player and having the potential to actually grow in that team, in the organization. So one of the things that you want to say or share in that is, what did you do as a group? What did you do in terms of your experiences in working together during your internship or your project work? So the activities that you really enjoyed a lot can say a lot about you as a very analytical person, or you as a very creative person, or you being very logical and reasoning and being very practical, or you being very operational, you being very quick to respond, or you are a very strategic thinker. So these kind of things can really be highlighted in your conversation. So these are some of the ways, some of the best ways for you to start the conversation, for you to talk about what you really feel your strengths, what you really feel your skills are so relevant and important for that particular job. So you're not only introducing yourself, but you're also giving them a preview of your life, your career, and your objectives, and where you really want to shine and grow. So you can rise and shine in your career. You can do amazing things. You can do wonderful things. And that is all possible by really planning and preparing and practicing. So prepare well. Have 3 or 4 answers for tell me something about yourself. And that's a really good start for the interview. That's a really good start for your career. And that's a wonderful place to really express yourself so that they can understand all about you and choose to decide and select you as their employee. Wishing you the very best in your career. Gear up for success and victory. See you in another